Now they have to prove that these aren't extraterrestrial. And they also move without creating an exhaust or breaking the sound barrier. They didn't specify what other was, but you can fill in the dots yourself.
What if we already had our first encounter with alien intelligence and didn't even realize it? In 2017, a mysterious object named Oumuamua flew through our solar system, silently, stealthily, and leaving behind more questions than answers. Now in 2025, powerful new data reveals something chilling. This was no ordinary rock. Its movements were precise. Its heat signature, missing. Its origin, a dead zone in space. Strap in, because what you're about to hear might change how you see the universe forever. The strange visitor from beyond the stars. What if our solar system was just quietly going about its business, and then one day something impossible showed up? In 2017, astronomers spotted something they had never seen before. A bizarre, cigar-shaped object was flying through space on a hyperbolic path, meaning it wasn't orbiting anything. It was just passing through. They named it Oumuamua, a Hawaiian word that means messenger from afar arriving first. That name would turn out to be hauntingly appropriate. Unlike a comet or asteroid, Oumuamua had no visible tail, no icy trail, and no heat signature, even when it passed close to the sun. That's already strange. But then the real kicker, it sped up, just zoomed off, without any sign of an engine, propulsion, or exhaust. No natural explanation fit. In 2020, physicist Michio Kaku and other researchers took a fresh look using cutting-edge analysis tools. What they found was disturbing. This object didn't just move, it moved with purpose. It adjusted its trajectory with the kind of mathematical precision that nature doesn't just accidentally produce. By analyzing the object's path using quantum-enhanced optical modeling, they discovered that Oumuamua's acceleration perfectly counterbalanced its tumbling. For every 7.3-hour rotation, it made micro-adjustments, tiny tweaks that matched how a solar sail would function. This led to a shocking conclusion. We may not have witnessed a random rock. We may have witnessed technology, an interstellar spacecraft, or even a probe, built by an intelligence far beyond ours. The Dead Zone launch. Where did it come from? Okay, so maybe Oumuamua wasn't natural, but where did it come from? Thanks to data from the European Space Agency's Gaia mission, which mapped over 1.8 billion stars, astronomers traced Oumuamua's origin. The result? Even more confusing. It didn't come from a chaotic star system, a binary star pair, or a supernova blast, all places where we expect objects to get ejected at high speeds. Instead, it came from a dead zone, a calm, quiet patch of space with no gravitational chaos, a place where things shouldn't move at all. That's like finding a bullet on the floor of an empty room. No gun, no struggle, no explanation. Something put it there. This raised a chilling theory. What if Oumuamua was deliberately launched? If you wanted to send a probe across space without anyone tracing it back to you, you'd want to launch it from exactly that kind of quiet, empty region. No star explosions, no gravitational slingshots, just a stealthy departure into the void. And guess what? That's exactly where Oumuamua came from. The idea isn't just sci-fi anymore. The math supports it. Natural mechanisms cannot explain how it got here from that location. It's as if something or someone placed it there, specifically to avoid detection, letting it silently drift toward our solar system like a cosmic splash. And the deeper scientists look, the stranger it gets. A rotation too perfect to be random. At first, astronomers thought Oumuamua was just tumbling through space, spinning chaotically like an oddly shaped rock. After all, its brightness was fluctuating every 7.3 hours, which usually signals a rotating object. But in 2025, researchers fed all the light variation data into a deep learning algorithm, and what came out shook the scientific community. Turns out that spin wasn't random at all. The AI uncovered a predictable, repeating pattern, a rotation cycle so precise it maintained a 7.3-hour period with less than 0.002% variance. That's a level of stability no natural space object has ever shown. It's not the behavior of something drifting aimlessly, it's the behavior of something programmed. What's more, every 43.8 minutes, the object made micro-rotational adjustments, almost like it was turning different surfaces to face the sun or scanning specific directions. This wasn't just spinning. This was a controlled maneuver. Engineers quickly recognized this behavior. It matches theoretical designs used in spacecraft to harvest solar energy, regulate temperature, and conduct environmental scanning. Think of it like a rotating antenna or a solar panel that keeps turning toward the light. And here's where it gets creepy. That pattern may have been designed to look random at first glance. Only advanced AI analysis made the order visible, suggesting that whoever designed it wanted it to look like space junk, at least to primitive observers like us. The thermal cloak that shouldn't exist now. Here's the part that defies physics, Literally, in November 2017, NASA pointed the Spitzer Space Telescope at Oumuamua as it passed close to the Sun, closer than Mercury. Logic says any object that close would heat up, fast. We're talking 500 degrees F or more. Even the darkest asteroids should glow with infrared radiation at that distance. But Oumuamua, it showed nothing, no heat signature, zero. That's not just strange, it breaks our understanding of how matter works. Objects absorb solar energy and release heat. That's thermodynamics 101. But this thing soaked up the sun's energy and gave back silence. In 2025, scientists ran the thermal data through enhanced algorithms. The conclusion? Oumuamua didn't reflect heat because it was either made of a material we've never seen or it was cloaked. Now imagine this, an object equipped with thermal stealth, tech that actively prevents it from emitting detectable heat. Not even NASA's most futuristic materials come close. They've been working on aerogels and metamaterials that can lower thermal signatures, but not erase them. Yet that's exactly what Oumuamua did. This leads to one of the most unsettling ideas yet. What if it was designed to avoid detection altogether? A probe quietly observing our solar system, deliberately hiding in plain sight. And if we hadn't randomly caught a glimpse of it, we'd never have known it was there. But here's the final punch. If this object used stealth tech that advanced, then the civilization behind it didn't just want to explore, it wanted to do it without being seen. And that's a very different kind of visit. Intelligence in disguise. Is this alien space junk? Not every mystery in space comes in the form of a fully functioning ship. Sometimes the first sign of intelligent life might just be debris. That's exactly what theoretical physicist Michio Kaku and Harvard's Avi Loeb have started to consider. What if Oumuamua isn't a probe at all? What if it's a technological relic, alien space junk? They're calling it a technological remnant, something left behind by an advanced civilization. Think of it like an old, broken satellite drifting in space. Except this one may have traveled across galaxies. Here's why this theory makes sense. First, the shape. Oumuamua is about 400 meters long and just 40 meters wide, a 10:1 aspect ratio that resembles a communication boom or a solar sail panel. That shape doesn't occur naturally in space, but it does show up in engineered structures, like spacecraft parts. Second, that tumbling motion, it's not random. The AI found it to be semi-predictable, like a gyroscope that's partially broken, no longer under full control, but still following its original programming. And that's exactly how malfunctioning satellites behave. Third, the silence. If Oumuamua were a working alien probe, maybe we'd expect signals, transmissions, something. But there's been nothing. No beacons, no pings. Just a silent traveler drifting through space, oddly behaving, oddly shaped, and cloaked in stealth. This fits into a larger theory called the litter hypothesis. The idea that humanity's first contact with alien intelligence won't be a handshake or a hello, but trash. Tech leftovers, bits of probes, or forgotten devices drifting between the stars. It's a chilling thought that somewhere out there, civilizations rose, explored, and left behind their cosmic garbage. And one of those pieces just happened to pass through our solar system. Or, even more chilling, It's not junk at all, just silent, watching, still doing its job. The passive probe theory, where we just studied without knowing. Now imagine something even creepier. What if Oumuamua wasn't broken? What if it was perfectly functional, designed to do one thing, observe us without ever being noticed? This is what Michio Kaku now calls the passive probe theory, and it's gaining traction fast. Let's break it down. Oumuamua didn't just wander into our solar system randomly. It took a perfect observational route, close enough to pass by Earth and the inner planets, but never close enough to risk detection or interception. That's not a coincidence, that's reconnaissance-level planning. Then there's its behavior. No lights, no radio waves, no fuel burn. It didn't do anything flashy. But that's stealth? That's the whole point. The object even passed through the ideal position to pick up Earth's broadcasts. Radio, television, Wi-Fi signals, for a full 72 hours. Just listening. Think of it as a galactic drone. It doesn't need to talk, it just needs to record. Kaku believes the tech matches what an advanced civilization would use for safe, passive observation. No contact, no risk. Just fly by, grab the data, and vanish. And the implications? Terrifying. Because if that's true, then we've already been observed, recorded, and cataloged. Our cities, languages, conflicts, technologies, all broadcast into space and picked up by something we didn't even know was there. Even worse, we didn't catch it on purpose. We only saw it because it passed unusually close and left an accidental trail. If Oumuamua is part of a larger surveillance network, how many others have we missed? It wasn't here to say hello. It was here to take notes. We're missing dozens like it every single year. So here's the part no one wants to hear. According to new data from 2025, Oumuamua wasn't a once-in-a-lifetime visitor. In fact, researchers now estimate that objects like it pass through our inner solar system roughly once a year. Yeah, you heard that right, every year. The only reason we even spotted Oumuamua was dumb luck. It got close enough at just the right angle for our limited telescopes to catch it. But most of these objects, they sneak right by. Why? Because our detection tools, up until now, were embarrassingly inadequate. These objects are only visible for 5 to 10 days at most. If they come from certain angles, especially from the direction of the sun's glare, we never even see them. But that's changing. The Vera Rubin Observatory, set to go fully operational in late 2025, will be a game changer. With its massive mirror arm and 3,200 megapixel camera, it'll scan the entire night sky every 3 nights. That means we'll finally be able to catch these visitors before they arrive. And some scientists are already thinking bigger. A mission concept called Project Lyra wants to intercept the next Oumuamua-like object, using Jupiter's gravity and solar-boosted propulsion to slingshot a spacecraft after it. It won't be easy. It would take nuclear-level propulsion and lightning-fast engineering decisions to catch up to something that's already flying away. But here's the unsettling part. If Oumuamua was artificial, a probe, a sensor, or even just space junk, and these objects are frequent, then we might be in the middle of a slow-motion galactic survey. Someone or something could be systematically mapping out our region of space. So, who sent it and what did it learn about us? Everything we've explored so far points to one terrifying possibility. Someone else already knows we exist. They know our atmosphere, our broadcast signals, our technology. They know how we behave. They know how we treat our planet and each other. Oumuamua may have been the first alien messenger we've ever encountered, and we barely even noticed. No attempt at communication. No sign of peace or hostility, just silent surveillance, and maybe reporting back. In military terms, this is classic reconnaissance behavior. You don't send your main fleet first, you send something quiet, something cheap, something that won't start a war, but can tell you what the battlefield looks like. And now here's the part that really sends a chill down your spine. What if we were never meant to detect it? What if it was just bad luck for them that we saw it at all? And if that's true, how many other probes have passed through completely invisible? Physicist Michio Kaku and others are warning the public not to underestimate the implications. This may not be science fiction anymore. This may be stage one of contact. And if their tech is advanced enough to cloak heat, control rotation patterns, and perform stealth flybys, then we're basically ants watching a drone fly overhead, with no idea if it's friendly, curious, or planning something far more complex. The message, Oumuamua left behind. So what do we really know about Oumuamua? We know it wasn't like anything we've ever seen. It accelerated through our solar system with no visible propulsion. It followed a precise mathematical trajectory, adjusting its motion in ways no rock ever could. It emitted no heat, as if it was cloaked, and its rotation was not chaotic. It was structured, like a machine doing exactly what it was programmed to do. We know it came from a part of space where nothing should have been able to launch it. No binary stars, no supernovas, no gravitational chaos. Just a silent, empty region, the perfect launch pad for something meant to avoid suspicion. We know it observed us, or at least had the opportunity. It passed within range to absorb our broadcasts, analyze our atmosphere, scan our planet, and then quietly disappear. And here's what's most unsettling. The only reason we caught it at all was luck. It didn't transmit. It didn't slow down. It didn't make itself known. If this was a message, it was whispered. If it was surveillance, it was subtle. If it was just debris, it was unlike any debris we've ever seen. Now, leading physicists like Michio Kaku and Avi Loeb are saying the quiet part out loud. This may have been our first contact, not with aliens who want to talk, but with their technology, with their tools, with their eyes in the dark. The truth is, we may never know what Oumuamua really was. But if the numbers are right, if objects like this pass by every year, then we haven't seen the last of them. Do you think Oumuamua was just a rock or something far more intelligent? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we read every one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next cosmic mystery we uncover.